All right, y'all, what's going on? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And I'm a little disappointed this morning, and I got this image last night. Some of you guys have already seen this already, right up top. This was the compensation for the Armory Stockpile event, right? So this was supposed to be the compensation for the issues that they mentioned. It's funny how they mentioned and called this issues as opposed to an actual exploit. But this was a compensation that players are supposed to receive for those who were able to take advantage of said issue. Now, this is disappointing to me. Usually I try to stay positive and I try to really find and take an objective approach to certain things. I just don't know how to do it with this situation. And forgive me also, by the way, if this is not going to be a very well, I guess, structured video. I'm kind of just gonna go off the top, man, go off the cuff, because honestly, in my opinion, this is a bunch of bullcrap, right? There's nothing else to be said about this right now. If you think that 450 cores, 500k gold, and 3 Armory 16 orbs are going to make up for the players that spent 1,050 cores per day, 6,300 cores over a period of 6 days, did not get 1% and lost 40 Armory 16 orbs, then you done lost your mind, Scopely. I have no idea what in the world you possibly could be thinking about this when you thought that this was gonna. And first of all, and let's also talk about this too as well, the fact that this is a login calendar. So you have to now, for a screw up that they didn't fix. Let's be clear about this now. Like, this exploit that happened with the Armory Stockpile event has been going on now, or at least that sort of glitch where players are able to donate and contribute for account for 2-3 days or so. That exploit has been in Marvel Strike Force for quite some time. My understanding is that this was something that happened last year. I think that this even originated back to 2019, that this information was given, that there's a exploit or there is a glitch that people can take advantage of because they can manufacture it. And now you're saying that because of your incompetence, because of you not fixing something, players were not able to properly receive the rewards that they were supposed to receive from an event like this. I mean, think about this for a second. Pants of Hulk, right? Philosopher has mentioned this and talked about this already. Pants of Hulk is probably the crackenest of the crackenest alliances in the game, right? And they were in the 2 to 5% range. That does not make any sense to me. This is something that they should have fixed a long time ago. And then to add insult to injury, you give this as compensation. Now, for me personally, I did not participate in the event, so I guess I'm okay with being able to receive 450 cores, 500k gold. Actually, the 500k gold in reality is actually quite fine. Like, it's good to get the 500k gold. But the 3 Armory 16 orbs, I gotta think, man, for players who contributed to this event, who went about this the legitimate way, I don't know how this makes you whole. I don't know how this makes you whole. Reminex says it all the times, and man, Rem quit Marvel Strike Force. Right? I didn't talk about it last in the headliner because I knew that he was going to make a video about him actually quitting and why he quit. So I didn't want to talk about it in the headliner. But Rem quit on Friday night on stream because of things like this. He mentioned this to them last year before the event started. He said, "Listen, this is a problem. Are you going to fix this? Is this going to be a concern? Is this going to be a concern?" And then he never got a response back on it. And then the exploits happened. And then people kept on talking about the exploits. And then they still did nothing. You talk about it in a blog and say that it's an issue. No, it's an effing exploit, dude. Call it what it is. It's an exploit, man. And this is what's frustrating. I'm so sorry for the players who contributed to this, who spent their 1,050 cores. Like I said, I try to be positive about what's going on this year and try to be excited about the simple fact that we are getting Apocalypse. But now we got the Scourge event that has the leaderboards. And I've been talking about the leaderboards and saying that is my main concern. That is my main concern. I'm concerned about the gap that at number one is. There's already an issue with the gap in the game, right? In regards to free-to-play players and then whales and krakens. That's kind of natural in a lot of games, but the gap in this game is wide. It's really, really, really wide in a game like Marvel Strike Force, right? That was a concern within itself. Then you add the additional concern of the leaderboards and people hacking and exploiting and getting it. We saw it with the Avengers Tower. It's like, it's recent, even before this event. This is seriously, guys. I don't know what is going on with you guys. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know why. I don't understand the logic behind this. 450 cores, 3 Armory 16 orbs is supposed to make players whole that got the 2 to 5%, that maxed out the event and didn't get top 1%. Now I want to talk about the design of that event in the first place. I attribute a lot of this crap to the design of the event in the very first place. The event was designed in such a way where it was supposed to be for players who are willing to spend money. And that has always been my issue in this game, is whenever they make events where players have to spend money in order to complete milestones. If they had made this event a little bit more inclusive, to where most players would have been able to actually participate in the event, or a good decent amount of the players were actually able to participate in the event, then it actually would not have skewed the numbers as much as it did, right? So because over 60% of the players, you can call it, boycotted the event, didn't play the event, whatever, right? Because of how greedy the event looked in the first place, and you would have to spend XYZ amount of cores just to be able to get Armory Stockpile Armory orbs, players did not participate. I did not participate. I'm getting this compensation and I'm asking myself why. I didn't do anything for this event. I did nothing. Why am I getting compensation? I literally did the bare minimum of donations every single day. Why am I getting this? And then on top of that, to add insult to injury, players who exploited, right, are also getting the same thing. Players who are already in the top 1% are now getting the same compensation as well. How in the world is this fair to those players? How in the world is this fair to those players? But back to the design of the game, the design of the event. The way that they designed the event, and this is the problem, the way that they designed the event, it excluded players that were not willing to spend money or not willing to spend their hard-earned cores on an event like this because it was way too crackety. If they had included more players into it, then it would have skewed the numbers to where those who did max out the event could have been guaranteed to get into the top 1% because there would have been more players who would have participated in the event. But because they're such a greedy organization and a greedy company, right? There's nothing else I can say, man. I have been trying to stay positive this entire time. The blog post got released. I've been trying to stay positive. And when I saw this compensation, I'm just insulted that they would even go through with this and they think that this is enough. This shouldn't be a login calendar. It should be mail compensation for players. That should have gone out a while ago, by the way. They shouldn't have been on Wednesday. Well, I guess the timing is fine, but it shouldn't be a login calendar where players now have to log in to get this for 3 days to be able to get the compensation. And it's not even enough to make players whole. Poorly designed event. You're being way too greedy. Nobody trusts you anymore. And I guarantee you, I wouldn't be surprised if you start to see a max exodus of players because of stupid crap like this that you could have fixed. You could have stopped the exploit in the first place. You could have stopped the exploit in the first place. You didn't have to let this continue to go on, but you did. You knew about it. Either you come out and say, hey, we don't know how to fix it, or hey, this is something that we're okay with, whatever. Come out and say it, so people at least know where you stand. We don't even know where you stand. To call it an issue is insulting. It's not an issue. It's an exploit. Well, it's a little bit of an issue that people exploit, right? Like that's pretty much basically what it is. Like that's what happened. I don't like it, man. I'm sorry to those who were not made whole because of this compensation. I shouldn't be getting this compensation. I did not participate in the event. So why am I being compensated for something that I didn't do, right? I didn't do anything. Why am I getting compensated? Why are you compensating those who exploited it? Why are you doing that? That's the second thing. And then number 3, design better events so that players can all be included, so that those who are willing to max out events, right? So if you had included more players into the event by not making it such a greedy crack in the event, then players would have been able to contribute. More players would have felt able to contribute because they could at least get through majority of the milestones or all the milestones. And then the rank leaderboard section, players who were willing to max out the event, then they would have been able to climb and get into that top 1%. This is bad, man. I don't know what you're doing. You're not listening to your players. You need your players. You need the players buy-in, and you do not have their buy-in right now. It's not just players who are on Twitch and on YouTube or whatever who don't like this. It's also players who are not watching YouTube or not watching Twitch who are also affected by this. And don't say anything on Reddit. Don't do anything. We'll just quit your game. And when your Krakens and your whales start to quit your game, where are you getting your money from? Because you're not gonna get it from me. Because I'm spending. Listen, I'm on a $50 budget per month here now. You ain't gonna get that money from me. So who you gonna get that money from? You're too greedy. You are too greedy. You have let things like this go on too long. I don't like it. You need to address this. If you don't address this, then expect that there's going to be more players who are going to be quitting Marvel Strike Force because of your incompetence, because of your lack of care for your actual players in the game. That's all I got to say, guys. I'm sorry for those who got this compensation, those who were not made whole today. I apologize to you guys, but honestly, Scope is the one that really needs to apologize to you, in my opinion. I'm sorry. Sorry for the rant. This is just really frustrating as a content creator who likes the game, who loves playing the game, who thinks that you guys should be treated fairly. To me, this is an insult. This is worse than the exploit. This is worse. 40 orbs missing for players who were not in the top 1%. And the compensation that you gave them was 3 Armory 16 orbs that they have to log in for 3 days for because of your poorly designed event, because of your incompetence. You need to fix this, and you need to really think about your players moving forward. All right, guys, I'm out. I'll see you guys later on. Tomorrow we'll have a roster review video. It's supposed to come out today, but it'll come out tomorrow. Appreciate y'all watching, man. Until next time, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe.